January 16, 1958, the Brazilian ship Almirante Saldanha was off the coast of the remote and rugged island of Trindade, around 680 miles from the east coast of Brazil. The Almirante Saldanha had been brought here for naval oceanographic research. Aboard the vessel were Captain José Teobaldo Viegas, various scientists, explorers, and a civilian photographer by the name of Almirante Barona, brought aboard to take underwater pictures for the expedition, as well as some other civilian reporters and assistants. On this day at around midday, a number of those gathered on the deck observed something very strange in the sky approaching the island from the east, and flying towards the wished peak part of the island. The object was described as gray, metallic, and glinting or shining, and roughly spherical in shape, with what seemed to be a ring around it, similar to the planet Saturn. It was so unusual and moving at such high speed that it was obvious to those who saw it that this was no normal aircraft. Almirante said the deck was full of sailors and officers. Suddenly, Mr. Amelar Vieira and Captain Viegas called me, pointing to a certain spot in the sky and yelling about a bright object which was approaching the island. I was finally able to locate the object by the flash of light. It was already close to the island. It was coming over the sea, moving toward the point called the Gallo Crest. The object approached the peak to hover over it for a few moments before disappearing behind it, and then reappearing, after which it continued its journey out over the sea. This all happened as the crew stared in awe, but Barona was a professional photographer and had the presence of mind to snap a series of 4 pictures of the mysterious object. He would explain when I sighted it clearly silhouetted against the clouds. I shot 2 photos before it disappeared behind the peak Bisjado. The object remained out of sight for a few seconds, behind the peak, reappearing bigger in size and flying in the opposite direction, but lower and closer than before, and moving at a higher speed. I shot the 3rd photo. The 4th and 5th ones were lost, not only because of the speed the saucer was moving, but also for another reason. In the confusion produced as a result of the sighting, I was being pulled and pushed by other persons also trying to spot the object. As a consequence, I photographed the sea and the island only. It was moving out to sea again, in the direction from which it had come, and it appeared to stop in midair for a brief time. At that moment I shot my last photo, the last on the film. After about 10 seconds, the object continued to increase its distance from the ship, disappearing into the horizon. When the object was gone, the ship's commander ordered the negatives to be developed right away, and they were amazed by what they saw. Several of the crew aboard the ship would report that the vessel had experienced technical malfunctions during and after the encounter, as if the craft was exerting some influence on their electrical systems either accidentally or intentionally. The military wanted to know numerous details about the sighting and were very interested in analyzing the photographs, which apparently impressed them and were deemed to be genuine after exhaustive testing by the Laboratório de Reconhecimento Aéreo de Maranhão, which is the Brazilian Navy's aerial reconnaissance laboratory. Barona said of his time with these officials in the analysis of the images, I was interviewed by several high staff officers, who asked me all kinds of questions. They came to the conclusion, based on these tests as well as on studies concerning the ship's position and examinations of charts of the island, that the object was flying at a speed between about 600 miles per hour. The object's size was also estimated at about 120 feet in diameter and about 24 feet high. It was not long before the photos leaked out, and they were featured heavily in Brazilian news publications and in the media at large. They generated a huge amount of discussion and debate, and through it all the Brazilian Navy stayed quiet, neither confirming or denying the alleged incident.